Right. It would have required a little time, like the first time I made an amendment to do just.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Yield back.
Mr. Reed, you're recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Barthold, before I go further, I just want to note something. Mr. Dockett used the term free tank of gas that's supposedly going to come out of this legislation. The free tank of gas that we're referring to, these are taxpayer dollars that they get to keep in their pocket in order to pay for that tax they worked hard to earn. Isn't that correct? That's not money that we're somehow giving to the taxpayers. Actually, it's money we would rather take from the taxpayers unless we reform the code and those individuals get to use their dollars for whatever they choose to be used for, such as tanks of gas for the year. Isn't that correct?
I believe the reference that was quoted was the tax savings could be spent toward something such as gasoline.
And tax savings means we're not taking those dollars from those hardworking Americans that earn that dollar, correct?
Tax reduction, sir.
So this is their money that they get to use for that free tank of gas or for whatever they so choose to do. Isn't that correct?
Yes, it would be, sir.
Mr. Barthold, you're very familiar with the tax code. I've known you for years, and I know you're very familiar with it. I want to clarify some of the record here. What I have on my right is a pile of the regulations and tax code as it exists today. Do you happen to know how many pages that is?
No, I don't. It's depending on the different publisher and whether you count the footnotes, you can get different results. But your stack is impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do like my stack because it shows, in my opinion, the complicated nature of the code of 70,000 plus pages. H.R. 1 I represent to you here today. How many pages is this? I believe it's 429 pages, if my count is correct.
Copy with me,
So to Mr. Dockett's request to delay these proceedings for one more week, that would mean every American, the 300 million people that live in America, would be subject to these 70,000 pages of existing tax code and all of its complications and all of its special interests and all of its loopholes for at least another week, because these guys don't want to get to 429 pages of legislative text for us to debate this week. Is that fair to say?
I'm sorry, Mr. Reed. I missed the.
I think I made my point. I don't need you to answer that.
Will
With that, I will.